Are you sick of the city? Want to find a rural town, get a mortgage, and some real estate in rural Utah? If you said yes, today we're looking at the Beehive State, Utah. Utah is a sneaker state. Not many people realize how nice of a state it actually is. It is often overlooked by people looking for a new place to call home. And I honestly have run into people in the past that think you have to be Mormon to live in Utah. That's not even a joke. In case you don't know, you don't have to be a Mormon to live in Utah. It helps, but you don't have to be. What we're looking for is that sweet spot, a decent place to live that isn't too close to a major city, it's easy on the crime rate, not 5 hours away from a hospital, or not so far out in the sticks you get horrible internet. In our past videos, I explained that not all states have 10 good rural towns, and I don't want to waste your time with some places that are a bit of a reach just to get a list of 10. With this list, a lot of really good places got skipped because they're sort of a cross between rural and suburbs in the Salt Lake City, Provo, Ogden metro areas. And we just skipped those, but we're gonna do a suburbs video later on this year, and I'm sure they'll show up there. With Utah, we just tried to get out of the metro areas as best we could. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 6, Delta, Utah. Delta sits about an hour and a half southwest of Provo, just east of the Gunnison Bend Reservoir. These people like to get outdoors. They have a motocross track on the north side of town, a raceway on the south side of town, and a golf course not too far northeast of Delta. Delta was originally a railroad switch called Aiken. In 1905, Aiken was renamed Melville when the county began plans to set up irrigation and a dam. People purchased land for 50 cents an acre as long as they agreed to develop a 40-acre lot. They eventually changed the name from Melville to Delta because Utah already had a Millville and people thought this would be confusing. I think Delta's a good name for a place. I think it's better than Melville, especially when you got another place called Millville. I don't know if there's like a contest or anything like an arm wrestling match to see who had to change their name, but they eventually became Delta. Delta has a population of about 3,400 residents, and they get a big thumbs up for their crime rate. It's actually 32% lower than the national average. In reality, most places in Utah have a pretty low crime rate compared to other states, I should say. When it comes to internet, I'm going to give them a faded thumbs up because they have Centricom and it offers 500 Mbps to about 70% of the town. They offer 1 gig to only about 35% of the town. Now this is why I give them a faded thumbs up. They have Frontier Fiber and they say they offer it to 99% of the town, but they don't show the speeds. I wonder why. They say you got to call in to see the speeds. That seems a little sketchy to me. When it comes to healthcare, they get a big thumbs up too because they got a good sized hospital in here. It's like the county hospital. It's called Delta Community Hospital and it's got an emergency room open 24 hours, all that good stuff. They also have a helipad in case you have head trauma because you beat yourself on the head with your cell phone after waiting for Frontier customer service for 3 hours just to find out the speeds of the neighborhood. When it comes to real estate, they get a faded thumbs up, and that's because they don't have a lot to choose from. And when they do have something for sale, it seems a little expensive. Right now, they have a place going for $849,000. It's nice, but I don't think it's worth $849,000. They also have another one going for $650,000. It's nice, but I don't think it's worth $650,000. And then they got one that looks like it's worth $424,000, and that's what it's going for. Last year and earlier this year, they sold some homes for $400,000 and $450,000. So I think your starting money here is going to be around $400,000 and work its way up. Anything below $300,000, they did sell back in 2020. They were kind of run down, and they were going for like $270,000. The one place that's going for $849,000 right now, it's also like a boutique store. It's weird. It's like a gift shop, but it's also a residence. Number 5, Richmond, Utah. Richmond sits about 20 minutes north of Logan, not too far from the Idaho border. You got farmlands to the west and mountains to the east here. A few years ago, I had a great conversation with an older lady on the train who was born and raised here. She had nothing but wonderful things to say about the town and its people. In 1860, Brigham Young visited the Richmond settlement to kind of see how things were going and kind of give them some direction and some counsel, I guess you could say. And they had said that the local Native Americans were becoming hostile and many of the Mormon pioneers had already had violent conflicts with them. Young told them to move their wagons together, like closer together, and they'd be like attacking a beehive, which is rumored to be the origins of how they became known as the Beehive State. Anyway, the settlers took his advice and eventually built a fort called Fort Richmond. These days, Richmond has a population of about 2,500 residents, and they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 45% lower than the national average, which is great. They get a big thumbs up for their internet in Richmond. They have Xfinity, which offers 1.2 gigs to about 92% of the town, and they also have CenturyLink, which offers 100 Mbps to 99% of the town. One thing I will mention, most of Utah that's not like up in the hills is reported to be getting pretty good service from Starlink, which is the SpaceX satellite internet service. Wyoming's another one. Other states, it's been mixed reviews, but I've heard Utah and Wyoming and actually Montana are getting great connections with them. So keep that in mind. When it comes to real estate, they get a thumbs up here too. They have a lot to choose from. I shouldn't say a lot. They have some places to choose from, 6 currently, which range from $370,000 to $745,000. Now, I was looking at what they've sold recently and what they have going on right now, and you'll be lucky if you can find anything from $350,000 to say $420,000. That would be, those things pop up every now and then. But realistically, to get something nice, like really good condition, newer home, it's going to be $550,000 on up. When it comes to healthcare, they're going to get a thumbs up too because they're kind of close to Logan and that's going to cover anything you need. But they also have a urgent care in town. It's not open too much. It's closed on the weekends, which I think an urgent care should be open on the weekends, but it's only open Monday through Friday, 12 to 8 p.m. At least they got it in town. They got a couple other doctor's office. Most anything you're going to need, you're going to be heading into Logan, Utah, which is like 25 minutes to the south. Number 4, Panguitch, Utah. Panguitch sits about an hour northeast of Cedar City, Utah, and about 30 minutes northwest of Bryce Canyon. The name Panguitch comes from the Southern Paiute word meaning big fish, and the area probably picked up that name because of the nearby lakes that have rainbow trout like year-round. They also got creeks, rivers, all kinds of good stuff around here in case you like to be out fishing. This is another part of Utah that if you like the great outdoors, this is a great place to be. Hiking, Bryce Canyon's right there. This is an amazing part of Utah. Panguitch has a population of about 1,800 residents, and they get a big thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 49% lower than the national average, and it's affordable. It's one of the more affordable places on this list. Safe and affordable are always a good combination. When it comes to internet, they also get a thumbs up. They have 1 gig fiber from South Central Communications. They cover about 95% of the town. Real estate also gets a big thumbs up because they're not doing bad. I mean, they don't have really over-the-top expensive places here. The cheapest thing they have going right now is a house that needs a little work and it's going for about $170,000. They have another one for $260,000, and they have some newer homes, like they haven't even put in the lawn, they're still building them. Those start off around $400,000 and work their way up to about $500,000. So it's not crazy expensive in this area, and you got some things to choose from. When it comes to healthcare, they're doing great there too. They got Garfield Memorial Hospital in town. That's the emergency room. They're open 24 hours, all that good stuff, helipad, and they're right across the street from a church in case things don't work out for you. Number 3, Mendon, Utah. Mendon is a small town in northern Utah that sits in the farmland about 20 minutes west of Logan, Utah. This is a great town if you like peace and quiet, fresh air, and some hills to do some hiking. There isn't much to Mendon after that, and for some, that's all they need. It's a great place for that. A lot of people think that you need to have a bunch of things around you, things to do, maybe fishing places, hiking places, golf when you're retiring, something. No, some people just like to have peace and quiet. Mendon might fit that bill for you. They have a population of about 1,100, and they get a big thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 64% lower than the national average. That is great. This type of place where kids getting caught drinking at the park is like the talk of the town and makes the news. Mendon gets a big thumbs up when it comes to their internet. They have Xfinity out there. They say they cover 97% of the town with 1 gig, which is great. They also have CenturyLink, which offers 100 Mbps. They cover 96% of the town. And they have one called Sumo Fiber. They offer 10 gigs, but they only cover 2% of the town. When it comes to healthcare, they get a faded thumbs up because they've got nothing in town. Anything you need, you're going to have to get taken care of in Logan, which, like I said, is only like 20 minutes to the east. When I looked up Mendon, Utah hospitals, and this is near me, they actually list a heating and air conditioning place as a hospital. It's not even listed as a hospital. It's like if you search healthcare in this town, they offer you a heating and air conditioning guy. Guy is multi-talented. Get your Freon recharged and a colonoscopy, all in one visit. Serious question. If a guy comes out and fixes your air conditioning and gives you a colonoscopy, do you tip him? I mean, what's the etiquette here? I'm confused. When it comes to the real estate, they get a faded thumbs up only because they don't have a lot to choose from right now. They have one place for sale and it's going for $650,000. It's a nice place. 4-bedroom, 3 baths. Looks really nice on a little over half an acre, but just seems a little pricey. So they're getting the faded thumbs up for their real estate. Number 2, Monticello, Utah. Monticello is in southeast Utah, not too far from the Colorado border. This town was built on farming, ranching, and uranium mining. They have a pretty decent golf course in town that was built on an old uranium mining site. I wonder if the sand traps glow. Monticello has a population of 2,800 residents, and they get a big thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 55% lower than the national average. There's not a lot of people here, and they got the sheriff's deputies station right in town, so I'm sure that helps out. You know what else they got in town? A pretty good-sized hospital, so they get a thumbs up for their health care. Sandwiched in between the elementary school and the high school baseball fields, they have the San Juan Hospital. Emergency room, all that good stuff, open 24 hours a day. When it comes to their internet, I'm going to give them a faded thumbs up because Frontier, again, you got to call for their speeds. They offer fiber, which it's got to be over 50 Mbps. That's what I'm guessing. They cover about 90% of the town. After that, you got a company called Emory Telecom. They offer 25 Mbps to 72% of the town, and then they offer 1 gig to only 17% of the town. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Make sure you call the local providers if this is a place you do decide to move to. When it comes to real estate, they get a thumbs up because they got some options and they're pretty affordable. The average home here, I would say, just looking at Zillow, starts off around $260,000 and goes on up to like $400,000. Right now, there's probably about 5 places for sale in town that range from $230,000 to $314,000. So you got some options there. All in all, this is not a bad place to live. It's got some golfing, got some mountains right there by you. Telluride, Colorado for great skiing is like 2 hours away, a little over 2 hours. But still, you're also only an hour away from Mexican Hat. Yeah, they have a place called Mexican Hat. I guess when they named the place, nobody knew how to spell sombrero, so they went with Mexican Hat. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, all that good stuff. It always is appreciated and really helps out the channel. Also, go over to our other channel called On This Day. There's a link down below. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Morgan, Utah. Morgan, Utah is a rural town about 30 minutes southeast of Ogden and about 20 minutes southeast of Hill Air Force Base. It has the Weber River flowing right through town. This isn't very big or very wide, I should say, but they do have some pretty good fishing here. I saw a lot of fly fishing videos, a lot of normal fishing videos. Looks like a fun river. They also have some tubing, and that looks really fun. Besides all the fun on the river, they have a golf course just outside of town. Morgan is definitely a small rural town, even though it's got almost 4,000 residents. And they get a big thumbs up for their crime rate. It's actually 57% lower than the national average. They get a thumbs up for their internet, too. They got CenturyLink. They offer 1 gig to 99% of the town. They also have another company I've never heard of called Beehive. They only offer 50 Mbps, but they also offer it to 90% of the town. If you're not doing any heavy gaming or anything like that, 50 should be okay. Now, the only thing they get a faded thumbs up for is their healthcare. They've got a small clinic in town and a couple dentists, which I'm sure, like I always say, are doing amazing work, but they're just kind of small and they've got limited hours. Anything major you're going to need or emergency room, you're going to be heading into Ogden. But I like Morgan. Morgan's far enough away from any major cities, but not too far away, you know? Morgan also gets a thumbs up for their real estate. Their homes are a little expensive, but they're nice. Your starting money is probably going to be about $500,000. You're not going to find much under that. If you do, it might need a little too much work. $500,000 is your starting money, and right now they go all the way up to about $900,000. With your middle range probably being about $600,000, $650,000. Get something nice for that price. Anything above $800,000 normally is going to be like on the river or it's going to have some acres with it. This whole area is a beautiful part of Utah and it's really a nice place to live. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.